Prawn here with a series of interesting and useful tips for Icarus. So these are more advanced tips, and I've got a number of different ones to give you to help you survive and to get the edge. And I've also got a playlist linked in the description with more tips and tricks like this, so if you find this useful, check that out as well. First thing I want to talk about is fast travel. There is no real fast travel capabilities in Icarus, so one of the things you might find is that occasionally you're miles from your base and you've got a long trek home. However, what I've discovered is there's an easy way to bypass this. Set your mount to follow, I've discussed this previously, and if you have one like I have here with a large character that you can then deposit all your gear onto, basically strip off everything that you own, including your armour, your backpack, your weapons and all the other things and your quick slot, put it onto your mount. Make sure the mount is set to follow, that is important. You need to make sure it's set to follow. You might want to throw away some of the things on the mount that are less important as well. Let's say sticks, stone and other things that you can easily collect from other areas. But you can see I've got lots of really good stuff in here otherwise. I've got silica that I'm going to need. We've got various different important minerals and other things I want to keep. But basically I'm putting all my things on here so that I don't have to come back to my body because I'm a very long way from my base right now. Then I've just gone off to pick a fight with some wolves and boars and other things nearby until they kill me. And then the idea here is basically this is going to let me spawn back at my base, and then because the mount is set to follow, you'll find that it then reappears back at your base. So you then have everything you needed basically on your mount without the need to go out and recover it from your corpse. This is a bit of a cheesy way of doing things, but it makes life a lot easier if you've travelled a really long distance in Icarus and can't get back to your gear easily. Another really good tip that I've discovered was shared by someone else in the comments in one of the previous videos, but if you need to grab a lot of things from a storage container, you can press Control Shift and then click on your mouse on that particular thing and it'll grab everything. So if you take iron ingots, for example, here, you do that and it grabs all the iron ingots in the container, so you don't have to individually click on each of them. You can just grab the whole lot in one go. This makes life really easy if you need a load of one thing in particular, or if you're clearing out something like a forge, you need to make space in there so it can carry on crafting. You can easily do that. Now another thing is I use a bow a lot for kills. Make sure you crouch for the stealth bonus when killing. But if you're obviously using a bow, you're using up your arrows. If you've got good quality arrows, as I have here, I don't want to lose them. If you go up to an animal and pick it up after you've killed it, you automatically get your arrow back. Now obviously it makes a lot of sense to skin the animal and to obviously get the crafting materials off of that. But I'm out and about here and I've actually done that a lot already, so I've already got a lot of animal carcasses on me, a lot of meat and a lot of fur, so I don't want to do that. But what I do want to do is get my arrows back. Now you can't do this with the larger animals, so sometimes you might just have to look at the arrow and pick it off their corpse, which obviously could be a lot if it's a hard animal to kill like a bear. But if you've got a small animal like a wolf, it's really easy to just pick it up quickly. It takes the arrow from their corpse and you can easily get it. That said, it is worth skinning animals for various different reasons. Obviously you get the parts from them, but you also get points in terms of experience points for doing the skinning. And you also get bestiary points, which is an important part of this process. So for each animal you kill and skin, you get points in your bestiary tree, which is essentially information about the animal, which can be very helpful in other ways. So if we take this situation, for example, where I'm fighting a load of bears and wolves, you'll notice that just killing them gives you the bestiary upgrades and the unlocks. The more you kill, the more progress you make in this, and then when doing that, you'll basically find that you then become a more efficient killer, or you learn about their weak spots. So you can see here critical threats to the bear and other things, but you'll notice at the bottom it says that you get bonus damage against bears. So the more you do it, the better it gets, and you get more benefits that way, so it's actually worth doing. The other thing as well is with bears, you'll find once you get good at it, you can get loads of experience points for it. So if you've got a good weapon, you do a stealth attack, 4,700 XP for killing a bear there. Nice and easy, and fast experience points and easy upgrades. Now another important point is about mounts. Mounts are very important. I've talked about what to do with mounts before and the benefits of them. You can see this one here. Basically a large mount with a cart on it can be really good. Now feeding a mount can help with experience points. So if you've got a food source, you can feed them. That will give them XP. But if they need healing, you can also use heal potions. So if you happen to have a heal potion on you, put it in your quick slot, go up to the mount, and you can then treat them and heal them up. So I've died here, but the mount stayed behind. It got injured by other animals, so I can then heal it and improve its health capabilities. When you have the alteration bench, you can then use modifications to improve your armor. Now, one of the things I've noticed is with the advanced alteration bench and with the advanced pocket attachment mod or standard pocket attachment mod, what you can do is you can attach it to more than one piece of armor. You'll see there's a little indicator that says it can be attached to your feet, your body, and your legs. This means you can actually have multiple pocket mods on your gear. So if loot is the most important thing to you, above and beyond all else, then it's worth looking at this, because this means that you can basically increase your storage space by putting these mods on each of your bits of clothing. Now, this is fairly easy to do once you've unlocked the ability to do it and you've got the alteration bench. Obviously, you have to go through the steps in the tech tree to get to this stage and have good armor. But you can then upgrade these things. You'll then have loads of room for extra loot when you're out and about. Obviously, you could maybe apply other mods, but I personally like to have these ones applied for extra storage space. Talking about extra storage space, the other thing that you can do is make the most of your mount. So with a large mount, it's also possible to pick up an animal. So some animals can be picked up, taken back to your base, and then you can harvest them. You'll see with this carcass on your back, you can actually drag it and put it on the back of the animal. You can put multiple carcasses onto the back of this animal here as well, so you can take multiples back to your base with ease and get loads of meat. Now, for feeding animals, I've noticed that the beehive can be pretty useful. So once you've got the beehive set up, you can actually get quite a lot of honeycomb pretty easily. Now, usually you'd put animal feed into the animal feed trough, but what I found is putting honeycomb in there, for example, or honey, can actually help feed your animals pretty easily. Now, this doesn't give the same XP bonus as the proper animal feed, but it does help keep them fed at least. If you've got yourself a cow using the various exotic materials and you've called it down from your spaceship, you may be wondering how you get milk. Well, first of all, you need the glass working bench and the ability to craft glass milk bottles. You can see that you need glass for that and other things, and then you need to just grab your milk bottle and go visit the cows. Now, milk is actually beneficial because it has various different bonuses and buffs, so it is worth doing over water, for example. But take an empty glass bottle up to a cow and you can see if it's well fed and has been tamed for a while, you can then go up to it and then you can just fill your milk bottle up. So it's actually pretty easy. You don't need any sort of milking materials you usually expect that you'd have to use in real life. You just need an empty milk bottle and a cow that's willing to give you milk, and obviously you can see it's got a certain amount of milk to it. Now, you might need a fridge to make sure that this milk stays drinkable for a while, and that's a separate craft that you can find in the tech tree. But this is worth doing because it will basically give you a lot of different bonuses. Now, another thing that's worth looking out for in the skills abilities is the one for taking trees down and automatically getting wood when you're chopping them down, rather than having to chop the individual bits. You can see I'm getting wood here. But what we discovered is also if you set fire to a tree with a flamethrower, for example, then the tree is burnt, and when you chop it down, you get charcoal instead. So hopefully you found these tips useful. Check out the playlist to see more similar ones like this, and thanks for watching.